I'm Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network. Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go. Wednesday show, May 21st, 2021. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube. Coming up over 82,000 subscribers on that platform. If you're watching on X, good afternoon to you. Braylon Edwards, you see what had happened was we decided to let Pete cook, and he fried the meal.
Fried it, baby.
Yeah, Pete was cooking with the boss and almost got his ass fired. Full disclosure, Pete was cooking with the big man, Chad Johnson, and almost got. So, man, we're glad to be here. I'm
Let
zen.
Pete cook. We did.
Ryan, I'm feeling real zen-like, man, even in the midst of the chaos, man. I had a good doctor's appointment. You know, I go to get injections from time to time. Shout out to Dr. Lynch, who's also the doctor of Detroit Lions. You see him on the field all the time. Every injury, you will see Dr. Lynch. He's the ones that put them all back together. So shout out to him. But he told me shoulder look good. He said we don't need to do any injections. Let's wait until if we need it down the line. So I came here, zen-like.
It's a pretty fresh Tigers hat, too, by the way.
Appreciate that,
I wore that orange hat the other day.
Yeah.
I love that thing.
I think that's what it was. I've been watching more Tigers games. Like, I love wearing the Atlanta Braves A. You know, I got shout out my Braves. And then the Detroit Tigers O is D. Watching them be back, you see the hat, you see the helmet, the D is there. So I went into my closet and pulled out some of my Detroit fitteds.
Maz, good afternoon to you.
Hey, fellas. What's happening?
Wearing your Tigers gear as well. Oh, damn, Ricky Burns, too.
Got to.
Hey,
Look at that.
That's our team, man. That's our city.
Funny story about that. I'm going to New York tomorrow. Just a family trip with the kids and
time you
everything.
going?
We're going at 10 a.m.
I was being funny.
Oh.
Don't miss work.
We are gonna we're gonna do the whole touristy thing. But the last time I was in New York, it's been a number of years actually. I had a Tigers hat on. I was walking on Soho. I was walking in Soho, and there was a small table there outside a sandwich shop. It was almost like right out of what you saw at The Sopranos. And Satriali's. It was kind of like that, but I was walking on one side of the street, and these three gentlemen in tracksuits were sitting outside on the other side of the street. And I'm walking down the street, and the guy says, Hey, you better take off that hat. Sheffield ain't here to protect you. And, it was, I took that hat off so fast you wouldn't
I'll give you some of my
believe it.
Yankee gear if you want.
Yeah, I got some Yankee gear. I like the Yankees. Derek Jeter is my favorite player.
There you go.
For about a 20-year period in sports, I love Derek Jeter because he was such a champion. You know, for me, and I talk about this, I say I'm not an awards guy. I don't care about MVPs. I don't care about all-star games. I don't care about all-pros. I don't care about player of the weeks. I don't care about player of the year. I care about championships. And for me, I loved Jeter. I loved Kobe. Why? Because the only thing that mattered was championships.
Yep.
Period. Right. Nothing else. They didn't care if they rub you the wrong way. They didn't care if you hated them. They didn't care if their teammates hated them. They were going to do whatever they had to do to win a championship. And I admired that. And that's why there was better baseball players throughout the years. I don't think Derek Jeter was the best baseball player of an entire generation. I don't believe that. But
you're wrong.
He was the biggest competitor. And that's what I loved about it. Was Michael Jordan better than Kobe Bryant? Yes. But for me, Kobe Bryant was the best competitor in an entire era of basketball after Michael Jordan.
Yeah, two stories. One about Derek Jeter, and then the other about going somewhere in New York and somebody saying, hey, look, you might want to turn around. Jeter is the consummate professional. He always has supported Michigan. We know he didn't play baseball at University of Michigan. We know he didn't even attend. He almost did. But you couldn't tell him that. Every time I see him, he's always, what's going on, Braylon? What's good in your life, man? How you doing, man? Also, I was a New York Jet. I remember seeing Jeets a couple times. And whenever you would see him, come on now, man. You're out in the forefront. You need to be in the back of the club, and you need to leave before it's over. He said you need to start hanging with the right folks. So Jeter is through and through. He's an amazing person. Right, Ryan, you're right. He played in an era where there was superstars, there was steroids, there was all this, there were gaudy numbers, gaudy stats. He was just a guy that kept trucking along and winning along the way. And you look at his stats in totality, you look at the big moments that he had. He may not have the most home runs, he may not have the most hits, although he hit 3,000 on a home run. But in those moments, you talk about Miggy, how many moments can you pull from Jeeks? That's why you love him, because he won in the biggest moments. Now, story about where I wasn't supposed to be. I go to New York. My buddy Hayes. Shout out to Hayes. What's going on?
Shout out.
Marcy Projects. Familiar with it?
No.
Yes, that's
Familiar with Marcy Projects?
Not a real.
Familiar with Marcy Projects?
No, sir.
Now, I know who does know. Familiar with Marcy Projects?
That's where Jay-Z's from.
100%. This is where Jay-Z is from. Jay-Z was my favorite rapper back then. I still think he's the greatest of all time in body of work. He's like Derek Jeter. We go to Marcy Projects. We step half foot in. Guys on the stoop. Guys on the block. You know what it is.
There.
Hey. We was like,
Yep.
you know, you just want to go. It's like being in Detroit. Somebody say Mack and Bewick or Dexter and
Nope.
Davidson. Let me see what this is talking about. Let me see
Okay.
what this is. Those guys, 1 foot in. Hey. We turned around and walked out, but I was there.
And it actually happened to me a couple of years earlier too. I was in Los Angeles. The Tigers were playing the Dodgers.
Ooh,
I
LA?
think this was around 2004, 2005, somewhere in there. And I was wearing a Chet Lemon. The only jersey I ever had with another man's name on the back
Rest in peace.
was Chet Lemon. And I wore that jersey to the Tigers at Dodgers that night. And this nice Mexican gentleman.
As soon as you said LA, I said, I knew where you were going.
This nice Mexican gentleman, as I was walking on the concourse about to exit the stadium, looks at me. He says, "Essay, before you get to that parking lot, you should take that jersey off."
He had your back.
Before he said before, I had that jersey off. You know, I mean, it's just one of the, some of these guys, some of these cities, they take this stuff so seriously and they don't play.
They beat
I'm
that
trying-
San Francisco Giants
One
fan
year
near to
after
death.
1 year after that guy died was this happened to me.
That's terrible.
1 year after.
Terrible.
So trying to find a way to politically correctly say this, you know what? The hell with it.
I'm a sports fan.
Hey, listen. Mexicans are a different type of fan. Like they just are on the West Coast. I played for the San Francisco 49ers in 2011. One of the biggest rivalry in sports. Maz will tell you about it. You don't know about it. It's the Oakland Raiders versus the San Francisco 49ers.
Boy.
3 people were killed at the game, Ryan, in the preseason. This is my first game at Candlestick Park, Maz. 3 people. Look it up. 2011
Preseason.
August.
That's wild.
3 people died, 4 shot. Like all the stories. Remember we used to look at the inside, like the Denver Nuggets, the fights at the arena. It's Phoenix, all on the West Coast, and involving, politically correct or not, it is what it is.
Man,
Yeah.
that's
Go
horrible.
back to Jeter for a minute, Maz.
Yeah.
Preseason.
I mean, that's your guy.
Preseason.
That's
Name my dog
crazy.
after him.
That's the
I know
wildest
it.
facts.
What was it about Jeter that you
Everything.
just admired?
He played every day. He probably wasn't a great interview because he didn't want to talk to anyone. He didn't want to talk. It's like Steve Yzerman. You don't go to Steve Yzerman to try to get a quote. You don't go to Derek Jeter to try to get a quote. He just showed up, played every day, stayed out of trouble. Sure, there was the backstories of him with all these. His lineup of women is second to
Legendary.
none. Second to none. And yeah, sure, there was the Derek Jeter gift bag, and the chauffeur taking him out the back steps and putting him in a limo. And
Who said chivalry is dead?
exactly,
Right.
he took care of everyone. Listen, man, when people tell me that he's one of the worst defensive shortstops, I laugh at them. Then they want to throw numbers at me. And some of the great defensive plays in baseball history, when they run them, you'll see 2 or 3 Derek Jeter plays. The jump throw, the jumping into the stands for a foul ball,
Yeah.
catching the ball against the Oakland A's in the
That was
divisional
awesome.
series to get Jeremy Giambi at the plate.
The shovel
Probably
pass.
the
Shovel
greatest.
pass. There you go.
Probably the greatest play defensive
Shovel
besides
pass.
Willie Mays catching the ball over his shoulder and throwing a runner out in the World Series. Derek Jeter. Everything he did was unbelievable.
His last at bat won the game.
Won the game.
His last at
His
bat
first
won the
at bat
game.
was a home run.
And one of the things about Jeter too, and Kobe, for both of those athletes specifically, Kobe and Jeter, we'll stick with Jeter in this case. God rest Kobe's soul, and his daughter Gia. But for Jeter, he played in New York in a much different time. He retired in 2014, but let's say Jeter's best days were behind him in 2011, right? I mean, he was playing out the string in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. The Yankees weren't as good. They were, 2 years removed from a World Series in 2009.
Yep.
And they were experiencing a bit of a we're not going to compete anymore. But Jeter, in his heyday, was so intriguing. He was an enigma. We didn't know about him. And notice the years that he played, no social media. I mean, I think Twitter became a thing in 2012.
Yeah.
Jeter was done at that point. He was a grown man.
Yeah.
He stopped going to the clubs. He stopped going out.
But
he was like a grown up at that point. And so we didn't know about him a lot. It was so intriguing to find out about.
Just to add a little caveat to that, even if he had social media, even if social media was as rampant as it was throughout his career, 96 to 13, I think, he still would have been a ghost. Because when I was in New York, Maz, I swear to God, I would be in places, and I would just get a little tap from either the maitre d', I would get a tap from my server, my waiter, my waitress, if you will. Excuse me, just come with me. And then I go to some back room, and it'd be Jeter in the private room, him, Leonardo DiCaprio, just vibing. He said, "What's going on, man? I heard you in the building, man. I just wanted to see you and say hi." Like, this is him. He operated like that. Side note, 3 people didn't die at the stadium. 3 people were badly injured. Pete put it up if you could. This was from that game. 2 people shot at a preseason game, and 1 beat unconscious.
Crazy.
This was inside the stadium at Candlestick Park.
I believe it. I mean, I know.
Candlestick.
I know.
Yeah.
Sports fans are nuts. Remember, there was a jail in the Veterans Stadium.
Philadelphia,
Yeah,
right?
in Philly. I mean, it's crazy. But, that we have our heroes. And I'll tell you, these Tigers are starting to become some heroes.
Man.
They were up 4-0 last night, tied 4-4, came back and won it in the 9th inning. And Riley Green had a night last night. 3 for 4, a home run, 4 RBI, including the game-winning hit. So, and then Tommy Kahnle, 1-year deal for Scott Harris. One of the best signings that he had is Tommy Kahnle. His 6th save of the season, and he's not a closer. He's a mid guy. He'll come in. All he does is throw change-ups. He threw 1 fastball last night, and then everything but change-ups. He knocked guys off base. It was a great time. They beat a hot Cardinals team. They're playing now, trying to get 2 out of 3 again before they come home for Friday night in the Cleveland Guardians.
Matt's buried it. We could have got to 2:30. I'm just messing with you, Matt. Riley Green playing at the clip that he's playing over the last stretch of games. He's got 6 home runs in his last couple games or so, batting over 400. It's a testament to what you talk about, Ryan and Matt. It's a long season. You're going to have different conversations. At one point, it's like, Riley Green's got to figure it out. He was one that we counted on. This was the beginning of the year. Now we got to get rid of Riley Green. He's not it. You just got to relax and have patience, man. There's 162 games in the season. You will see a wave. There's another individual that's on a little bit of that right now, 1 for 19. That's Javier Baez. But it's a long season. The key is watch the hits. Javi, even though he's struggling, he's still swinging. He's taking some good cuts. The hips at the plate. He's in the right spots. It'll come back to him. But Riley Green, same thing early on. Now he's finding it now.
One of the things about these Tigers, too, that we know or that we've seen, how many times have we talked about the Detroit Lions? It's been since 2022 since they've lost 2 games in a row, right? That's pretty impressive. I think for a baseball team to not lose 3 games in a row is really impressive. And I know they lost the 3 straight to the Dodgers in the season opener.
Doesn't
Since
count.
then, they have not lost 3 games in a row because of this pitching staff. It keeps you in games long enough to somebody's going to bail you out. And it happened again yesterday. The Tigers, they win a game. They stop losing streaks. And that is just one of the most important things a baseball team can obviously do, or any professional sports teams. But in baseball, when you have 162 games and you played 50 games, to have the ability to stop a losing streak at 2, I think, that means a lot. That goes a long way, Braylon. When you have a guy that you could put out there, you don't have to wait for Skubal to come back. You don't have to wait for Flaherty to throw. All 5 guys in the rotation are going to give you an opportunity to win the game. Now they've got some injuries. They've got a bullpen game today. And again, if you're listening to this live, Tigers are up right now 2-0 in the fifth inning, I should say. What's going to happen? We don't know. But, man, I'll tell you, every single day this team has a chance to win because of who's on the mound.
Man, I appreciate the fact that, AJ Hinch to Skip, I appreciate that he just lets his guys play. He gives them the – I'm going to rock with you. I don't care what's going on. I know what I'm going to get out of you. I trust you. I'll leave you in that moment, and then I'm going to go ahead. I'll give you an example. Tyler Holton, he's giving up 2-3 hits every time he goes out there, but he's getting the strikeouts that matter. He's getting out of the innings at the end of the game, and that's A.J. Hinch once again. Chris Freder as well. Shout out to U of M. But it's just in the moments, man. They trust their players, and their players – they make the plays that matter. That's how you get the wins.
Yeah, you heard him defend Javi Baez. Hey, move him up in the lineup. How do you move a guy when he's hitting the way he's hitting? And since then, he's 1 for 19. Yeah. But that's okay because he saved a couple of runs last night in center field. The guy is he's a team player. And today was a bullpen game. How about 2 bullpen games against the red-hot Cardinals? The first game, it cost them. Last night, they had their ace on the hill. He wasn't his best. 9 strikeouts, though. And they got the win anyway, even though he wasn't his best. And today, it's a bullpen game again. It's getaway day. They're tired. They've played a lot of games in a row, 6 in a row on the road without a day off. And they'll get one off tomorrow. See if they can get the win today, and then they host Cleveland coming up on Friday night. Hopefully the weather will hold up this weekend. Heard it's not going to be that great this Memorial Day weekend.
Very good.
I feel like it was a dead thought. My apologies. I was excited about basketball. That's what I was saying.
You want to do a little NBA? You excited about it? We can do it.
We can. 3 o'clock. I saw it was on there for 3:38. I just wanted to make sure.
In Michigan, the cornerstone of the city of Detroit, 79 years young. Notable partnerships with local organizations too: Salvation Army, Detroit Zoo, Michigan Humane. We want you to save 10% on your entire order. Use the promo code 10MEAL. That's the number 10, MEAL. Go to buddiespizza.com, buddiespizza.com.
Detroit sports fan, Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak? Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Baligian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media: X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
All right, you see these Tigers are kicking and taking names, so you got to be a part of it, man. Come watch the game with Woodward Sports, man. The talent, everybody's social teams, everybody's going to be down for 4 tour. It's called the White Claw Tigers Tour. McShane's this Friday. This will be the first one. Come on down. Party at McShane's with us. The vibes will be there. Presented by East Town Distributors and Ben Johnson Law. On the 13th of June, it'll be Nemo's, another pinnacle as it relates to bars downtown on that Michigan and Trumbull. June 19th, second best, right down the street from LCA. You can join us. The vibes is right. Food and the drinks will be flowing in second best. Come on down. And then June 29th, man, we finish up at the Old Miami. Summertime fun. It's the right way to do it. It's the White Claw Tigers Tour.
All right, welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Couple of big pieces of news in the NFL today, and we're going to start with some rule changes. The Lions pulled their proposal. Okay, they proposed to the NFL that it should be straight record that determines home field, regardless of division champion. For instance, if Carolina wins the NFC South at 8-9, they should not host a playoff game against a 14-2 Minnesota Vikings team. Yeah. The team with the best record hosts the game. The team that wins the division at 8-9, you got a playoff spot. That's your crumb. That's what you get. That was pulled. That was withdrawn from the NFL. Obviously, it was withdrawn because they didn't have enough votes for it. First and foremost, where are you with that?
I'll let you go, Mass.
You know where I'm at. I'm all for it. I wanted that rule to happen because I don't want a team like the Lions or the Vikings from last year, 15 wins and 14 wins, having to go on the road to, let's say, Atlanta if they win 9 games and win their freaking division at 9-8. Why the hell should Atlanta host the Vikings? Why? The Vikings have 5 more wins than Atlanta. The Vikings went on the road to L.A. last year, and you know what? The Lions broke their spirit. I get it. But they went to L.A. last year. Instead of, they were 3 games better than L.A. And instead, they got their ass kicked. And, you know, it might have happened anyway, even if they had hosted a game. I believe a weak division, the champion, you got in. That's it. That's your award. That's what you get. You should not host a game because you won your crappy division. Meanwhile, the NFC North and the AFC North have 3-4 great teams every single year. To me, it should be accepted, but it's not, so we'll go back to status quo.
I respect that a lot, to be honest. I'll just be on the opposite side of it. Look, when you win your division, I've been in the NFL, and when you win a division, technically, let me shut up. I've never won a division. I've been in the NFL. I've had good records, and we just didn't get it done. In 2010, we were better than the Patriots. And we proved that because we beat them in the playoffs when they were the number 1 seed. But we didn't beat them in the regular season. We lost out on that. It is what it is. Our record was better than a couple other teams that had division wins. But it's winning the division. That's what happens. When you win your division, you are gifted a home game for the fans, for the crowd, for the show-off, for your family, so that you get one at the house. Now, the next one depends on whose record is better. At the end of the day, I'm glad that they rescinded it because, to me, it feels like a loser's mentality to worry about something that doesn't affect you. You're the NFC North champs 2 years in a row. So to push this rule means you think you may not win this season, which means you're looking at Minnesota or you're looking at Green Bay or Chicago. I'm glad you rescinded. Just play the game. Your job is to win the NFC North, and then after you win the NFC North, is to move on to the NFC. I'm glad they rescinded it. Go win your division, and then you get into the dance and we figure things out.
So I posted this on my Twitter page today, too, or my X page. Yeah. And I got kind of roasted for it because I am like you, Braylon.
Yeah.
I think winning a division championship should mean something.
Should.
Okay? And I guess, you know, to your point, Maz, what everybody was saying was, yeah, if you win your division, you would earn a playoff spot at 9-8. But what if you won what if you won your division at 11-5? And you didn't win, you didn't host a playoff game? You know, we are using the extreme example, and it is an extreme example of 8 and 9 hosting. But what if it's 10 and 7? What if the winner of the NFC North division, because of how competitive it is, you might have all 4 teams win or make a playoff berth and beat each other up? If you win that division, you've earned that division championship.
I think so.
If you win that division, you earn that division championship. You should also earn a home game. Instead of...
They are getting a home game.
Now they are. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that's why I'm against the Lions rule.
Yeah.
If they're 10 and 7 and there's 3 other teams or 4 other teams that are 14 and 3, 15 and 2, 11 and 6, 11 and 6...
Last year was extreme.
That's
I'll
what I'm
admit it.
saying. It is
was
an
extreme.
example.
It took the Lions to the last game of the year, the second half of the last game of the year, to clinch their division, and they were 15 and 2.
Now let me ask you this: if the Lions' playoff proposal went through, which it didn't, just for hypothetical, if it went through, and last year that game wouldn't have mattered because both teams would have been home
game.
Both teams would have earned a home game.
Now Minnesota beats the Rams.
It would have been number 1 seed versus number 2 seed.
Good point.
I guess the week off would have mattered. So in that that is also an extreme case where the winner not only would win the division but would win the number 1 seed.
I just want to bring up something from the old days, and I'm talking the 70s. In the 70s, the 1972 Miami Dolphins, undefeated, went on the road to Pittsburgh for the AFC Championship game because that's the way the NFL did it. They did it. Each division would host a game every other year. Do you want that?
No.
The Dolphins won, barely, by the way, to get to the Super Bowl, and they wound up beating the Redskins. But, yeah,
That's fair.
the undefeated Dolphins went on the road to Three River Stadium against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who got into playoffs with the Immaculate Reception. That's how they won against the Raiders, if you remember. That was that year.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If the Lions did have this proposal go through, why have divisions then? Why not
that
just
was
go
my question.
Right.
NFL route or NBA
College.
route and just have conferences?
Yeah.
Like so.
Well, the NBA still has divisions.
But they don't matter.
Not one person ever looks at a division.
I do.
I think I only know two. I only know that two teams in
I
Lions and
don't
Pistons.
look. I don't even know who's in the Pistons division.
I know the Bulls,
I-
the Pacers, and the Bucks.
I look at the conference.
Bulls, Pacers, Bucks.
I don't know if
There's
it's
one
4
more.
teams or 5
Orlando.
teams.
No.
Oh no,
Orlando's
closer.
in the East. Trying to think. Go ahead.
That's
I
the
get
More
it.
in the East.
I get it.
That's the point. When you look at standings in the NBA playoffs, which we did
Philly.
for weeks, for months.
Philly.
What did we look at? We looked at a conference standing.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, the Pistons are the 5 seed. Oh, the Pistons are the 6 seed. 6 seed, 6 seed. Oh, they have this to get to the 3rd seed. We didn't say, oh, they're 2 games back of Milwaukee for first place in the NBA Central Division.
Sounds like baseball. Like, that's the only time you really do it. I agree with you 100%. We didn't look at it that way. I agree. If you want to do this, take the divisions out of it and reseed. Like, take the divisions out of it and reseed.
Yeah, I hated
I
it.
agree.
Cavaliers, you left out.
I did, and they're down the street, the closest
Cavs,
team.
Pacers, Bucks, Pistons, Bulls
I got most of them.
in the
I'll take
Central.
them.
In the Central.
One of the
Yes.
things that the Lions are happy about is that the tush push remains.
I don't know why they're happy, but I guess it is what it is.
The Packers proposed a ban on the tush push, but it did not get the 75% support that the NFL owners require to pass.
Yes.
So the tush push remains.
It lost 22-10.
The tush push remains.
I'm happy.
I have a list of the teams that voted against
Yeah,
voted
let's
with
see
the
it if
Lions.
you have that.
No, I mean it wasn't in, but it was
Just
the
say it,
Browns,
then.
the Dolphins, the Eagles, the Jaguars, the Lions, the Jets, the New England Patriots, Ravens, Saints, and the Titans voted against the tush push ban.
Yeah, so they voted for the tush push.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Look, Eagles have figured out something that is helping them, is garnered. They created. We've seen other individuals try to use the same format, and it doesn't work for them. This isn't something that is special to them. This is something that they jumped on first. They know what it is. You can't ban that. You can't ban that innovation because they won a championship. Now, woe is me. I'm good with this. Like, you want it, stop it. Because at the end of the day, you're telling me the reasons why you don't want to run it. Well, it puts unnecessary pressure on Jason Kelsey or the center or the offensive lineman. That sounds like a job for the Philadelphia Eagles to decide, is it worth it? That sounds like the players, is it worth it? Me put all this pressure on my back and my knees. Jason Kelsey won 2 Super Bowls. I think he would say it worked for him.
Who were those teams again? The ones
It
that
was
voted
the
for
Browns?
wait a minute.
Titans, Lions,
so we get our
Ravens.
wording right. These are people that want the tush push to remain. Everybody else voted against the tush push.
Yes, the Browns, the Dolphins, the Eagles, the Jaguars, the Lions, the Jets, the Patriots, the Ravens, the Saints, and the Titans are for
Okay.
the
Lot
tush
of big-
push.
You
There's one
needed
team
24 votes. You got 22.
There's one team I didn't hear, and I'm glad I did not hear them.
San Francisco?
The Buffalo Bills.
Because they use
I'm
it.
so glad that they wanted to ban the tush push because it would ban themselves from using it because they suck at it. 3 times they did a tush push in the AFC Championship
And got
game,
nothing.
and they got nothing.
And
So this would help the Bills if it was not allowed.
Listen to me on the tush
Great
push.
comment.
Listen to me for a second.
You got the floor.
Okay. 22-10. They needed 24 votes to abolish it. They got away with it. Here's what I don't like about it. Both teams are lined up. The offense knows when the snap is. The defense is jumping off sides probably 50% of the time because of the quarterback's cadence. That's how basically they get most of their first downs, by the other team jumping off sides.
Yep.
So I just think it sucks. I think it's a bad look. I just think it sucks because Jalen Hurts could go, and the guys are jumping all over the freaking place. To me, it's just a bad look.
You got to stop it. Mazin, you have to stop it.
I don't know how then.
But you have to keep them out of 3rd and short. You got to keep them out of 4th and inches. Like, that's the job. That's the game. You got to find a way to come up with a scheme, much like OKC did last night. They schemed Anthony Edwards. They said, we're going to send all these bodies at him. Every game is going to be looking like that. That's what it is. You got to find a way to keep yourselves out of that situation, man, because
Well, it's going to be gone next year.
Is it?
Because they got,
22 instead.
22. They need 2 more. They'll get 2 more next year.
Who flips?
So, well, whoever Jeff Lurie and Jason Kelsey gave money to flipped.
Right.
That's who, because Jason Kelsey even went there to the meetings today, along with the Lurie family.
yeah.
Jason Kelsey went to politic on his ex-team. This is an ESPN
Against or
guy.
for?
For it. He's like, you got to leave it alone. So he swayed 2 teams. So did Jeffrey Lurie. He swayed 2 teams. He said, if you want to keep the quarterback safe, this is the safest play for a quarterback. That was their spiel, and they swung, and they got 2 teams to jump over to their side. It won't happen next year, I promise you.
You just better put Jalen Hurts in a situation, beat you with his arm. I know he had a tremendous postseason run. I know they won the playoffs. Shout out to him on winning the Super Bowl. You still got to force him to pass to beat you. Like, that is the way to beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Is to make them pass often and early. So whatever you have to do from 1st to 3rd down, you're going to have to figure it out. At least this season, you'll have to figure it out for another 7
I hope it bites them in the ass this year, to be honest with you.
And maybe
And I think it will.
look, they took advantage of a rule. I guess I just keep going back to there's a rule. They exploited the rule.
Yeah.
Every other team in football has the opportunity, the same exact opportunity, to perfect that play. And they can't do it. What is Philadelphia doing where they execute this play at a better than 90% clip? And there's not another team that executes it at a clip past, I think, 27% or something like that. What are they doing to perfect this play that you can't do?
It's the perfect combination. It's just like Golden State. Golden State was how many years ahead of the curve? It's like, man, we can't do that because you don't have the best shooter that ever lived, and
Right.
you don't have maybe the 4th best shooter that ever lived in the way. And then they had KD. Now you got another one of those. They have a running back that squats 900. You got a quarterback that squats 700, and you have the strongest and the best offensive line in the game and one of the best centers in the game to ever play in Jason Kelsey. They perfected it because it's a perfect storm. Kelsey, Jalen, Saquon.
And Lane Johnson was this year's.
Exactly,
recipient.
100%. So
And he has back surgery after,
it's
by
just
the way.
it's a perfect
I'm going to make a
storm.
dumb analogy.
Golden State, it caught up to him, though. Eventually, the league caught up. I
Well,
think that's what
well,
happened
Steph
to the
slowed
NFL.
down.
True, but this is when you got to start calling them from jumping off sides. This is where the NFL can help that rule. You start calling Jalen Hurts for being offside.
Yes.
Now it limits the extra stuff you can do. NFL, you can't help these teams. Call them offsides because they do jump offside.
I'm going to teach my team, the defensive line, to jump.
Hold.
I'm going to jump off because I'm going to say that guy moved.
And then
if
touch.
that guy moves a freaking half an inch, I'm going to jump off sides because they cheat.
I'm going to make a really dumb analogy, but this is the biggest extreme case that I can kind of give an example for. What if, because of J-Mo's speed, they said, you can't catch a pass longer than 40 yards down the field?
Yeah, that's dumb. Yeah, that's dumb.
But J-Mo's faster than everybody else.
Correct.
But J-Mo,
So why can't
because there's no manipulation on J-Mo's speed. Like there's manipulation on the offensive line.
He's
jumping
not
off.
getting a head
how much
start.
they can squat?
No,
not
what
getting
I'm
a head
talking about in
start.
terms of the head start and how they call the cadence, how they do the cadence. A little bit of manipulation with that.
No, he could
I
be
don't
in
think it
motion.
was. See, I don't think it's dumb. As dumb as you think.
I don't think it's as dumb as I think either. I'm just saying, like,
Okay, hold
because they do it so well, because you have an advantage based on how you draft.
Yeah.
I just don't think that the NFL. Stop it.
In that case, that's like saying like Aaron Donald should be stopped because he's the strongest guy on the
Right.
field.
Like-
and that's not the case.
It's crazy to me to think that because you can't stop a play,
Yeah.
that you're going to legislate it out of the game.
Yeah,
I just don't
I
believe
agree.
that.
I'm on
I
the
just
same.
don't believe that. I mean, even if you look at Josh Allen, I keep going back to Josh Allen because they tried the tush push 3 times in the playoffs and failed all 3 times. This guy's 6'6", 280 pounds or something like that.
Maybe it's easier for the little
And
guy
he
and
can't
Jalen
get half
Hurts.
a yard?
Jalen Hurts is the little guy. It's easier for him to sneak.
Maybe it is. Same as
Josh Allen is
then
a
the
huge
New Orleans
man.
Saints should do it with Spencer Rattler.
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 I like Raxford.
Rattler.
Because with Jalen Hurts 6'2", 6'3", or he's 6'2", squatting 700. His center of gravity, to your point, like when he gets up under center, he's exploding into the offensive line. He's exploding behind Jason Kelce in the center, and that's the difference. Like Josh Allen, yeah, he's 6'5", 245, but it's not the same thing. It's not
He's
the
too
same
big a
center of
target.
gravity. It's 100%.
Yeah.
Peyton
big a
Manning, you
target.
would think tall targets. He was the worst sneak quarterback
Yep.
of all time.
Yep.
And Peyton Manning's what, 6'6", head give him 6'7"?
Yeah. His neck was a foot long.
Hey, Bray, I wanted to ask you about the NFL, too. The NFL is allowing players now to participate in flag football in the 2028
Don't
Olympics.
do it.
There is one player, and he's on the graphic.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, basically, maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown, but Jahmyr Gibbs is the player most likely from the Detroit Lions that would be involved in something like this in 2028. I could be wrong, but
Makes
when
me sick to my stomach.
When you talk about flag football, Jahmyr Gibbs is the first guy that comes up. I want him nowhere near this. I understand that the NFL doesn't want Zimbabwe to win in football, the gold medal, and they want the Americans to
They don't like
win.
Africa?
They just don't. They want America to win at football.
Yeah.
I understand that. But at the same time, I don't want my guys involved at all.
Whenever I think of flag football, I think about Robert Edwards, who played
The Beach Pro Bowl.
100%. Like 1997, 1998, had a tremendous year with the Patriots. They won. We went to the World.
Rookie of the year, wasn't he?
Right.
Yes, and go to the Super Bowl. They lose. Obviously, to Brett Favre, who is he's a douchebag. I watched that special. That's a whole nother topic. He just great quarterback.
Is that out on Netflix
It
now?
is.
All right.
Great quarterback. Douchebag. But anyway, I'm not a fan of trying to do something in that space that's not what you do. You can say, well, other sports do it. When you play golf in the PGA, it's the same in the Olympics. When you play tennis, when you play baseball, when you play softball, when you play soccer, it is the same sport that you're playing. Flag football is not the same sport that these guys play because now the competitive level goes up. There's no pads. I'm going to do this. Now you get hurt. Now you get ACLs. Now you get Achilles for the country. Look, I love this country. 1,000% I do. But if I'm an owner, if I'm Sheila Ham, nope. You can't have Jahmyr. You can't have Amon-Ra. You can't have Saquon. You can't have Christian
too
McCaffrey.
valuable.
We need these guys for Super Bowls, not to prove to the country that this is the dominant country. We won basketball 2024. We'll win it again in 2028. Let that be the message you take. I'm not letting Jahmyr Gibbs go. You need to find some college guys that maybe go to
UFL.
the UFL, or
Yeah.
you need to find some guys that are just fresh out of the league, etc. That's where you need to go
Practice
get
squads.
these guys, not the stars of your league. If you're Roger Goodell,
A lot of these players want to do it, Bray.
It's
because
not
they want a gold
but
medal.
it's not about what these players want. Like, this is just coming from the other side. This is not me as a player. This is me understanding from the front office point.
Investment.
No, the league is bigger than that. What if we send a bunch of guys? Because Jalen Hurts is the guy that's that was in the commercial during the Olympics. He's the one that throws a pass at the Coliseum over. Shout out to 84. Excuse me. What if Jalen Hurts gets hurt?
Yep.
And Jameer Gibbs. And then you got all these stars, and now you got to come back and have a 2028 football season. What does that look like?
Here's the guys that will want to do it. Okay, here's guys that would
Justin
want to do
Jefferson, Jamar Chase.
anybody that's already gotten paid, that has had a career already. Like, you look 3 years down the road,
Right.
it's going to be all guys that have made over $30 million, over $40 million, over $50 million. Because if you get injured in this, that is just a waste of an injury. That's a waste of a football season. No player, and I would say over under a half, and I would take the under on players that have already gotten a second contract in the NFL. There's going to be nobody 0 to 5.
Yeah.
Nobody 0 years to 5 years in that because they haven't gotten paid yet. I think I'm steadfast in that belief.
I do you one better. I agree with you 100%. I say it won't be any players that aren't a year or two removed from retiring.
Yes.
Like, I'm talking about, like, Keenan Allen. He would be like one of the first people I think about. Keenan Allen's got about a year or two left. Like, I watched him play last year. He was phenomenal against the Lions, but, you know, realistically, he's not the same. He's lost a ton of steps. Like, those are the type of players. Kenny Golladay, what are you doing right now? Because damn sure ain't in the NFL. This is a guy that played a year or two ago that I will hire. You got to get guys on that wavelength. I'm not putting any of my superstars at risk because the season is way more important.
We'll see what Roger Goodell says because he's going to want his players in the Olympics. This guy is let's face it, he wants them. Did you hear he wants international games every week of the year, and that's coming soon? There's going to be an international game.
Yeah, I hate
this
that.
this
God
guy,
help us.
and they didn't vote on his deal today. They were supposed to vote on his new deal. They pushed it off to another time. He's over $45 million a year he makes. He listens to what the owners say, but I believe that he is going to put our players, the best NFL players, will be playing that in that 2028 Olympics flag football. They want flag football. They want flag football bad. They're going to have a league. There will be an NFL flag football league. It's coming. It is on its way.
In that case, Mass, he's an idiot. Looking at, and I love Roger Goodell.
I agree with you.
I legitimately love him. I got a chance to see him 2 years ago when I went for a Jets game. Super good dude. He's different than when I first met him. I definitely appreciate him. With that being said, he'd be an absolute idiot. When I go to Lifetime, when I was playing basketball, man, like back when I would play basketball or right when I first retired or even when I still was playing, do you know guys lick their chops when they see an NFL talent come in or a baseball talent come in or a hockey talent come in?
They want to show.
They want to
What?
prove something.
Yeah.
What? I don't even play basketball. But they got him on the court. This is my chance to prove something. Do you know how many international players will see Jameer Gibbs and like, ooh, this is my chance to make a name for myself? And usually what happens with making a name for myself, it's going a little bit too hard.
Yeah.
A little bit too hard. And now there's what? Now there's an injury, which you pretty much wanted to do in a certain sense. That's what that's what everybody involved from other countries, that's going to be the mindset, man. Like, don't do it. Jeezy, don't do it.
And then, you know, another thing, I hope a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't feel like he owes it to Germany to do.
He's too
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you've got guys that have dual citizenship or from other countries, and you're doing this. And could you see Amon-Ra St. Brown being his heartstrings being pulled and wanting to play for Team Germany? I mean, I would understand that as a human being, somebody where you know that culture is such a part of who you are. But as a Lions fan, I wouldn't want him to do that.
Fans.
I would understand it. I would absolutely understand it if that's something that he wanted to do. But I would hate it as a Lions fan because I just wouldn't want him to get hurt. And if he was going to play in the Olympics, I would want him to do so, Braylon, with the best athletes in the world.
Okay. I was going to say in 2028, If the Lions have won the Super Bowl, Amon-Ra St.
Yeah,
Brown.
I don't care.
No, but what I'm saying, no, him. I'm talking about him. What I've perceived of Amon-Ra St. Brown, watching his podcast, meeting him a couple times, he cares about this team, he cares about this Super Bowl, and he cares about this city. If they haven't won, I don't think he goes, regardless of his roots, his roots in Germany. If they have won, you see him on the podcast, you see him on Netflix, like his charisma, he takes up, like this is something he would want to do. 2028, if we've won, he's in. If we haven't, I think he's out.
All right, guys, break time. When we come back, we're going to get into some NBA. Playoffs began last night, and then the series I'm most interested in begins tonight. We'll talk about that. Hockey as well. We'll go through some more NFL news and notes. We've got some bloopers for you, too. Bill Belichick's getting married.
Speaking of bloopers.
But first, message from Dr. Pierce.
All right, Dr. Pierce, he'll be with us tomorrow. He's been with Big D Energy on every Tuesday. He's with us on Thursdays. Michigan Sports and Pine. Trust the guy that D-Mac trusts. Heck, I trust him. I've already told you. I go there twice a week for my elbows. That's right. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. Give him a call today, 248-426-9944. For more information, it's MichiganSportsandSpine.com.
And we were talking about it earlier, man. Tigers merch. You got to get it right now because they're hot. And it's probably going to sell out at shop.woodwardsports.com. It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Hoodies, tees, hats, all guaranteed to turn heads, man. Shop.woodwardsports.com. We got Tigers, Red Wings, Lions. All of it's up there right now, man. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Get your merch now. We'll be right back.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak. Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Beligian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media, X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us Friday, May 23rd from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at McShane's in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Van Johnson.
Hey guys, dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Well, Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's $5,000 that you can keep in your pocket. Call them today, 248-290-8242. Visit them online as well, markwhitesells.com. Again, that number, 248-290-8242, to make your dreams come true.
Hey, let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff. Like gimmies on the golf course. We like uncomplicated. Like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, sign in. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Is Ryan, I know you don't like awards, but there may be a new award this year. I was wondering if you'd be interested in that. There are no awards for offensive linemen. They're not winning Offensive Player of the Year. They're not winning Defensive Player of the Year. They're damn sure not going to win MVP. But now they have the Protector of the Year award proposed.
I like it. I feel like
Panay Sewell, what's up?
I feel like only the left tackle can win it, though. You know,
I disagree,
Right.
because right tackle, you got Rashawn Slater,
Sure.
you got Lane Johnson,
Sure.
and you got our own down the street, Panay Sewell.
Yeah, he probably, hopefully, will be the first winner of that award. How about that?
That's what I'm looking forward to.
No doubt. Braylon, I know you were dialed into the basketball last night. Admittedly, I was watching the Tigers game a little bit more than the basketball. By the time I flipped over for the basketball, it was like a blowout already. What in the world happened to the Minnesota Timberwolves last night? And are the OKC Thunder going to walk away with this thing? Because it looked way too easy last night against Minnesota.
All right, here's what I would say. I'm going to lay it out for you. This is how I interpreted it. Thing one, OKC beat up on Minnesota last night. Let's start there. They beat up on them. You get play out of J-Dub, Lou Dort, Chet Holmgren. Everybody played well. And then your boy, SGA, 31-5-8. He did his typical. Now, with that being said, I don't like how many fouls are called for SGA. Like, if you're going to have a playoffs where you showed us what the tempo was, Detroit and Knicks. You showed us what the tempo was all playoff longs. You got Jason Tatum complaining about the refs. You got Jalen Brunson or maybe Cat. Everybody's been complaining about how the game has been officiated in the playoffs. You can't change it for a guy that you like.
14 free throws for SGA last night.
And we know the arm out thing that he does. He gets the calls. Come on, you got rid of You got rid of James Harden for that very same reason. I want them to watch that. Don't give him an extra call. He's a 90% free throw shooter. That's 14 free points for him. But with that being said, I think the thing that bothered me that I was scared about, because I'm sticking with the Wolves, although last night hurt, they don't have any strong offense out of that third player. And that's been a consistent thing. But their defense has been so good for the last month of the season, they've gotten away from it. They threw so many looks out there. Anthony Edwards, all they had was Julius Randle. I don't know if they have enough offense. I know it's game one. You know, they beat Golden State, so they've had a little bit of a rest. We've seen what happened in, game ones after teams have already wiped out, went 4-0, swept. But I don't know, man. I don't know if they have enough offense.
You talking about Minnesota?
I'm talking about Minnesota.
Yeah, it's got who's going to score for them? Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards, and who else? Mike Conley. I love Mike Conley.
He's too old.
Mike Conley's career, but he's a defensive player as well. You know, he's a defensive stopper.
Yeah,
He's not a scorer, is what I'm saying.
Problem is,
Rudy Gobert, he get a score for you? No.
it's guard play. I was having lunch today. This came from a friend of mine. I was having lunch.
Suckdine.
Small guards never win. Small guards never win.
Isaiah Curry.
Okay, Curry's the greatest shooter of all time. Curry's the greatest shooter of all time, but don't forget he had KD for 2 of those.
Right.
But you're right.
Right.
But there are the outliers. Small guards don't win. This is why Donovan Mitchell
Derek
got
Fisher.
Kobe and Shaq. But I'm talking about backcourt.
I know. Your
I know.
point is taken. I'm just messing with you.
I like it. But you're right. Small guards.
Tony Parker. Oh, he only had Tim Duncan. And
Manu.
I'm just playing with you.
I know.
Pause.
Oh my God.
At the end of the day, it's game one. They will get better, but I don't know, man, because they got a lot of weapons over there in OKC, and it seems like there's a little favoritism for SGA.
Let me ask you a question about SGA. Because I look at Oklahoma City's team, and I like them, but I'm not 68 wins impressed with them kind of thing. I like them, but I don't think they're built like this crazy machine that belongs up there with some of the great teams in NBA history. I just think that SGA is a flat-out superstar, and we don't talk about him like we talk about LeBron and Curry and KD and Edwards now because of where he plays. We don't say Luka and Jokic. We like, it feels like SGA is just kind of in the mix there. SGA might be the best player in basketball, but because of where he plays, the smallest market in all of professional sports, only besides Green Bay, Wisconsin, for the Packers, he does not get the love. Can you imagine if he was a Laker or a Bull or a Knick or a Celtic? I mean, he would take this country by storm. Forget about the league.
No disrespect. SGA is not in the category of the guys you mentioned. Now, if you're talking about an offensive talent, he's tremendous. He's tremendous on the offensive side of the floor. He knows how to get to his spots. He knows how to get the foul. We clearly saw that 14 times last night. But he's not one of those other guys. I don't worry about him on the defensive side of the floor. Like, he's not one of those guys that's going to just take over the game without help. He's not a Curry. He's not a LeBron James. He's one of these Jason Tatum situations where Jason Tatum has what? Derek White, now Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, and Jaylen Brown. He can have an off night. SGA has the same. He is very methodical with his game on offense, but he's got Lou Dort. He's got Jay Will. Chad Holmgren might be the second best player on the team and keeps getting injured. He hasn't even found himself as a OKC Thunder player yet. He has a lot of depth, so it allows him to pick his spots. It allows him to be able to chill sometimes and rely on the other guys. He's not a alpha superstar on both sides of the court for the duration because he does not have to be. So I wouldn't mention him yet in those names. We got to see what he does against Anthony Edwards. OKC's team is better. Like, they're constructed better. They have more depth. They're better shooters. Like, we got to see if they get through Minnesota. Now what happens next, then we can start having that conversation. But I'm not sold on SGA. But I am sold on OKC. Whether it's first game or not, they beat the brakes off the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they frustrated Anthony Edwards. Like, legitimately, they didn't take shots inside of 20 feet. The average shot was 20 feet or back last night for the Minnesota Timberwolves. You can't win like that. Anthony Edwards, who, when I think of Anthony Edwards, I think of dunks, highlights, layups at the rim. Don't you, Maz?
Absolutely.
Went to the rim one time yesterday.
What do you say, Maz? Were you into that NBA? I know you were watching Tigers, but what do you make of the series?
I think Minnesota will come back next game. I don't know if they'll win, but I know it ain't going to be a blowout. Anthony Edwards doesn't want to be embarrassed. He already took out a couple of the big guys. I think he would love to keep that going. I think they'll be back. But the game I'm hoping for, I'm rooting for the East champion no matter what. I'm rooting for the Knicks or the Pacers to win. Pacers have never won. Knicks haven't won since '73. So that's I'm an East guy. I usually root for the East unless the Warriors are in it. I'm all in on this game tonight. I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a long time, man, since MSG has hosted an Eastern Conference final. And to host it, game one, is pretty cool.
Talk to me about this. How, characterize for people out there in Detroit just how big this is for New York, for the city,
Good job,
for
Ryan.
basketball.
Yeah.
Because, we think it's big. I feel like it's big, but, I know you've lived half your life here, but you still have all your ties to New York. You're born and raised there. Just how big of a series is this? What does this mean to the city of New York?
Just growing up, all those teams, and the team I hooked on the most was the Knicks. It's just they were I don't know, man. They reminded me the 70 and 71, 72, 73 Knicks. They just reminded me of that 2004 Pistons team. They were just a team from 1 to 12. They played all these guys. And this team, and they talk about Madison Square Garden, and it's the mecca of basketball. And I know how it got its name, man. They're basketball crazy in New York. You can't walk a block without seeing a playground and the chain net. And people love this team. They've been a zero for so long. And along came the Nets, the ABA champions, and the Nets couldn't do anything, so they moved to Jersey. And then in Jersey, they couldn't get any fans, so they moved back to Brooklyn. They built them a place in Brooklyn. But the Knicks and the Yankees are the top two draws in sports, man, in New York. They love their basketball. Remember, the home of the Big East was Madison Square Garden. It's without a doubt, it would be one of the most, it would be, the ticker tape parade would be huge.
Let me ask
if the
you.
Knicks won that damn series.
Rangers in 94.
Yeah, that was huge. Really big.
Yankees.
Because they hadn't won since the 40s, 42.
Rank these for me.
Yeah.
Yankees in
94.
Rangers in 94.
Yeah.
Yankees in 09. Giants in 12. Knicks in 25.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Rank them for me.
I'd put, wow.
Giants 12.
That's great. No, well, the Giants beat the Patriots. I'd go to the Giants in 86, to be honest with you, 87.
I'm just talking
before
about
that
the
team.
last championship.
The last
for
championship
each
for
team.
each. That Rangers one was amazing. And I know it's hockey, but the place went crazy. Marc Messier went to that team, and he hadn't won since 1940. And anytime the Islanders played them, all the chants were 1940 in the stands. So they couldn't do that anymore.
So wait, 1940 to 1994, 54 years.
54 years.
1973 to 2000.
53 years.
53 years.
53 years.
Maybe next year's their new year.
It might be. It might be. But I'd go Knicks this year.
Yeah.
Rangers, Giants, Yankees.
The Yankees, when the Yankees
Because they won 27 championships.
Let me say, when the Yankees win the World Series, it feels like more of a relief
Yes.
than an excitement.
That's a great call.
Does that?
Yes. That's
It's a
great
relief.
call. Relief. It's a relief.
It's not. You're not excited about it.
No.
You're just relieved.
No, it's like the poor Toronto Maple Leafs. Those poor bastards play with an anvil on their back. The fans are relentless. Relentless. 1967. But nothing's going to touch if the Lions win a Super Bowl.
The Yankees, the Yankees feel like that because of the money put in them. The Yankees were putting all the money in back in the day. They had way more money spent on players. A-Rod, Jeter, Giambi, Hideki Matsui. The list goes on. So the relief is like, hey, we paid all these players, like, show up. Like, the big relief, because I got traded to New York. What year, man? In 2009. The big conversation was how A-Rod played in the playoffs.
Yeah.
We paying him all this money. Regular season, he's great, but in the playoffs,
Finally
he
broke
disappeared.
through.
100%, and that's what you get. With the Pacers and the Knicks, I'm excited because Knicks were put together for the Celtics. They dismantled them already. Now they got to play the Pacers, but this is going to be a tough team. You remember what J.B. Bickerstaff said about this team. He was on ESPN earlier today. Shout out, he did a great job. And he was just talking about this team. He said the intensity at which the Pacers, the pace, pun intended, at which they play at, he said that may be too much for the Knicks. He said the Knicks are going to have to figure it out early in the game.
They're going to have to slow them down.
100%. They got to slow them down because that pace, Jalen Brunson's beat up. Cat still has some issues. They still have issues within the team, and then Tibbs is running them to the wire. So
they're favored by 4.5 tonight.
Doesn't it feel like the Pistons could hang with either of these teams,
Yes.
specifically in the East?
Yes.
I said that. I'm telling you, they were undersold.
One of the things that I hope they don't do, and granted, Joe Dumars did not do this years ago when they last built a championship team. I hope they don't fall in love with their guys. It's really easy to fall in love with your guys. Really easy to fall.
Especially when you only have 12.
Right. Really easy to fall in love with Tim Hardaway. Really easy to fall in love with Tobias. Kind of like it was really easy back in the day, I think, to fall in love with John Barry. Really easy to fall in love with Uncle Cliffy. Really easy to fall in love with those kind of players that help get you to a point, but not real easy to fall in love with Malik Beasley. But now, who is going to be the next set of guys that can take you from here to here and win that championship? And maybe those guys have a role. Maybe you just needed Beef Stew and Jaden Ivey back, and maybe you compete. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. You say no, I'm going to say I don't know. But it's up to Trajan Langdon to decide if you're going to be, I don't want to say blinded, because then it almost sounds like I'm leading you down a path to not think for yourself. But I hope Langdon understands the job. I think he does. I believe he does. But again, they are so close to competing in this Eastern Conference. And the thought 12 months ago that we're even talking like this is unheard of.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I respect that. I just think that when they put the team together last year, they didn't look and say, hey, look, this is the team we're putting together, and they're going to win a championship. This was, we're going to put this together a team. We think this team will be competitive, maybe make a run. I don't even think they thought playoffs. And here you are. You're in the playoffs with a chance to win it. So I don't think that they thought that was a team. There's some pieces, some elements. What I take from it is Trajan Langdon, when he's at the podium, super chill. He's super, he's relaxed. He's even keel. He doesn't get up. He doesn't get down, at least what I've seen in the year. Brad Holmes is the guy that lets you know who he likes, which is everybody. Oh, that guy, we just love him. He's not doing that. He's letting you know I appreciate the work that these guys have done. We're going to make some assessments. We're going to see when we get into our meetings in the offseason, and we'll see what we need. I don't think they'll bring two of those players back because he knows what the ultimate goal is. You talk about it all the time, Ryan. They can beat both of those teams. You say now. I think they can. So strike while the iron's hot. You got to bring in that piece. They don't have it yet. Just my opinion.
Pretty good stuff.
I love this team.
Yeah.
I
do.
This team.
I love all the teams except one. I'm trying to find the love.
You know who has to
they're
hate
making it hard.
You know who has to hate this? How many times have we mentioned yes?
I said Stevie?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly right. That's exactly where I was going.
Steve Y.
There's nothing I like about that team.
When's the last time we mentioned the Detroit Red Wings? I mean, they have
not making the playoffs.
Sadly, and I hate to say this, they have become an afterthought here in Detroit to the sports. Maybe not to the the diehard hockey fans, but to the casual Detroit sports fan.
You know what's pissing me off about it even more realistically is now that the Tigers are successful, they own both franchises. So now it's like, well, it's not necessarily the owner.
Well,
the owner was willing to spend. It's not maybe the owner.
I don't know how to build a hockey team. I'm not even going to pretend to tell you. I am one of those casual fans. I am one of those casual fans that looks at the excitement with the Detroit Lions competing for championships, that looks at the Detroit Tigers, best team in baseball right now. My expectation is that they're in the World Series. I would be, at this point, disappointed if the Tigers are not in the Fall Classic in November playing for a World Series title. That is my floor right now for them, is the World Series. Not the American League Championship Series or anything like that. The World Series.
If the Yankees took them to 7, Aaron Judge, this was unbelievable. You would be pissed still?
Yeah, I would be disappointed.
Okay.
I would be disappointed. And the Pistons, I think, are 1 year away from competing for an NBA championship. If you are in the NBA Finals, you are competing for an NBA championship. And I think they're just a tweak or two away from doing that.
How long did the 04 team take to hatch?
15 years.
No, I mean to hatch.
2001,
2 years.
So 02, 03, 1 and 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Because they lost to the
we're
Nets,
right there.
Nets, Pacers, Nets.
I believe that this team.
Yeah.
I believe that this team is like that 04 team.
Okay.
They are coming up together, young, hungry, and maybe they're missing a Rasheed Wallace and a Chauncey Billups and a Rip Hamilton. Maybe those 3 players are out there somewhere that they could put on this team. And maybe they can just take that next step next year and get to the Eastern Finals.
Pete?
I appreciate it. Ryan, great freaking point. Can I add to that?
Please.
What I think that, because I was thinking inside, when I was watching that press conference by Steve Yzerman, am I correct on this? Because I just want to be sure on my P's and Q's here. Do the Pistons rent from the Red Wings?
I don't know how the building deal works out.
How the building deal? My whole point
I
is,
would imagine.
Yes, because that's why they don't have an Isaiah Thomas.
Okay, exactly. Okay, that's what I thought. My point is that Steve Yzerman is not only ticked at how everything is managed, that's his building. The first playoff game for the LCA should have been a Red Wings game. That is their building. It is his building. And I don't know if it's the owners or whatever, but I'm just saying that I think that that's part of the frustration on Yzerman, is that the landlord is letting the tenants have all the fun.
Mr. Landlord.
And it's just I just think your point, Ryan, was absolutely correct because I just wanted to add that to your point of the frustration of Yzerman. It's his building, man.
Yeah. So
I don't know how much longer he's got, how much more rope he's got.
I think he's got some, and
Just look what happened with the Dumars situation after a while.
Well, that's just a shame.
Now he's persona non grata.
That's just a shame. I think a lot of that. Look, we all have our opinions. Okay, I mean, our opinions are based on information that we know, which is basically nothing. Okay, I am surprised that Joe Dumars doesn't or didn't come around. He has been a professional athlete for so long. He knows what the deal is. You don't win, you get fired. You know what I mean? In the circumstances with Dumars were so terrible. They hamstrung him to death. Yeah. They didn't spend any money, but still. I mean, it's just it's the way it works in professional sports. And for me, I think it's a travesty that Joe Dumars doesn't show up to these championship events because he is royalty here in this city.
He's an MVP.
He is royalty in this city.
MVP.
And more important than being a finals MVP to me, he built the friggin' Pistons 04 championship team. That is a bigger accomplishment, I think, than winning finals MVP. But
he will always have a weird legacy because in that year he did two things. One was one of the best things that this city has ever seen, and one was one of the dumbest things. I will go to my grave saying, and now that I have more information too, him not drafting Carmelo Anthony and drafting Darko Milicic, you can tell me about the championship in the long run. They would have had Carmelo for the entirety of his career. They never even used Darko Milicic. Fraud.
Yeah.
Horrible draft.
Terrible.
Oh, that ended them.
But he won the championship in 04, so I give him all the credit for that. Bring him
and you get fired. You know what? You get fired
part
over
of the job.
You get fired over that stuff. It's big boy. Look,
Mike
you know
Malone,
what?
yeah.
If you don't produce, you get fired. That's the deal.
GM of the Denver Nuggets just got fired. Last time I checked, he had Jokic and
2 years ago they won a championship.
It's part of the job, man.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
You want to have a little bit of fun?
Let's do it.
All right. I'm going to have a blooper video. You want to play a little blooper video?
Why wouldn't we?
All right. Take a break. When we come back, we're going to have a little fun. I'm going to play you three and a half minutes of blooper. It's Blooper Video Wednesday. How about that? You want Blooper Video Wednesday?
Let's do it.
I've got Blooper Video Wednesday for you.
Can you do this every week?
Huh?
Can you do this every week?
Well, I went back years.
Okay,
I went back
We're
years.
appreciative for today.
You're right. There you go.
Okay.
Braylon turning over continued lead.
I'm trying.
But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Press and hold on that QR code right there, bottom left-hand corner of the screen right now, and you will have at your fingertips the entire fleet of vehicles at Les Stanford Buick GMC. How about a 2025 Sierra double cab elevation, $169 per month? How about a 2025 Hummer SUV, EV SUV, $699 per month? A 2025 Envision all-wheel drive, $259 per month. Get to Les Stanford today. Tell them Ryan sent you, will you? I got some pretty good pull over there at Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac.
All right.
Tell them Ryan sent you. You'll get a great deal. That's right. Love the people at Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Together. That's right.
Let's drive.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them, and that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us Friday, May 23rd from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at McShane's in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Van Johnson.
You know what I'm going to say, everybody? We are the #1 sports digital media platform around this entire blue big marble that we are spinning around on. And you have 6 ways to catch our 7 days a week programming here on Woodward Sports. Watch us on YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch. Come like, share, join, subscribe. Come be a part of our family, everybody. We love you guys out there. Mr. Edwards.
You know, I apologize. I was looking at my phone, and the reason why I was looking at my phone because I was checking out this Planet Fitness app, man. It's a cool app that keeps you up to date with all the things that they're doing in the judgment-free zone. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Over 50 metropolitan Detroit locations. That means there's one right around the corner from you. Guarantee you. Take your phone out right now, pull it up. See what the closest GPS is. It's right around the corner, man. Planet Fitness here, man. They got fitness that fits into your budget. They want you to feel good. They want you to feel great. They want you to look good. They want you to look great. They're not trying to hit you over the head with it, man. Gyms are squeaky clean, and the trainers come with every membership. What else do you need? I keep telling you, man. I don't even have to lift them up anymore. You know I'm swole. You know I'm in shape, and I do it at Planet Fitness.
Hey, right, before we get off on another tangent going somewhere here.
I'm not swole.
Tonight, NBA MVP will be announced. And I just wanted to ask Bray first. You could put up the big 3 names there. There they are. Who's getting and who is deserving of the NBA Most Valuable Player this year?
They're all deserving. You start with Giannis. Giannis 31 and 14 kept his team in the playoff hunt with no Dame pretty much all season, early and then late because of the blood clotting. So hell of a season by him, consummate professional. Even in the playoffs, they got ran off the court, but he still did his thing. Nikola Jokic is the best player in the sport. I will keep saying that. He is the best player in basketball. No one can do what he does. No one ever has been able to do what he's been able to do in this space. But your MVP is SGA. It's 2 years in a row they've had the best record. You see what he's done. Game 1, Anthony Edwards, they mop him up. He has his 31. He's got his team here. He's got his team rocking and rolling. It's all about leaders. He's the leader of the Thunder. He's the face of this team. He's one of the faces of this new generation, and he's going to find 30 freaking points every freaking game. So 2 years in a row, #1 seed, and then you get to the conference finals this year. Reward this man with MVP.
Guys, I was having a little fun at work today at Fox 2, and I went through some old videos, and I put a compilation together. Just something a little fun. It was gloomy out, so I posted it on my Facebook page. I posted it on my Facebook page. Maybe some people will like it. Maybe some people won't. But I thought I'd play it here.
They're going to love it.
It's 3.5 minutes of some of my favorite moments on Fox 2 over the years. Take a look.
The bathroom in the middle of the movie. Well, surprise, surprise. At the scariest part.
Did he get the large Slurpee again?
Yes, and a hot dog.
And the Reese Pieces.
And come here just real quick. If you get loud candy in a movie theater, just eat it. Just put it in your mouth, and you don't have to pour it out and then
shake it around in that cardboard box
like dice. Just eat it because you're bothering me. All right?
Well, especially in this movie, because Ryan, did you notice that people were afraid to? People say about this movie they're afraid to munch their popcorn too loud. It's so quiet.
Yes, and it makes you aware of
Mariel's guy shaking his Reese's.
And seriously, it's not the shaking because it's going to make noise when you pour it out the box, and I accept that. You know what got me? It's the hand rattle. Like you're playing dice and or you're trying to hop, skip it. What are you doing? Just eat it. Just eat it.
To tell Becky what Jenna Jameson, adult film star, is eating on her keto diet is eggs for breakfast with avocado. For lunch, it's a big salad with a grilled protein, piece of chicken, salmon. And then for dinner, according to Jenna Jameson, she eats like some cottage cheese and some nuts. You're eating, you're staying away from bread.
May live with. Oh! A light just popped. You're okay. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. It was a light.
You got the Hall of Fame.
Hey, what about Pretty City?
No, be careful.
Whoa! I bet you're going to go to break down.
Don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home. Get ready. Tomorrow it's happening right here in Detroit.
Chick-fil-A. Oh, here's the. She used towel.
Oh!
Here you go, Derek.
Well, not since Napster have we seen a controversial debate over music like we're seeing in computer-generated songs.
Yeah, we are talking about tunes that are crafted by artificial intelligence and featuring the likenesses of artists like Drake and Rihanna. And AI is forcing music labels to question what's legal.
Yesterday, and that's that spreadable brie, Dina. It's just a phenomenal sandwich spread. We utilize that for many different products over at Encore. We always try to get the latest and greatest ingredients from our vendors here at local. There's some local vendors here at Eastern Market that are bringing this stuff in. So we're real lucky. Supply chain's starting to loosen up a little bit. Thank God. Waiting for food costs to come back down. And
New this morning, President Donald Trump says he will renew efforts to end legal protections for young immigrants known as Dreamers.
Is saying a lot, lashing out at James Comey as excerpts of the former FBI director's new book have been leaked.
In a tweet this morning, President Trump called Comey a weak and untruthful slimeball who deserves to be fired for his terrible job. Doug Luzader with more. Sorry.
There
That's
it
it?
is.
I want more.
Oh
I want
my
more.
gosh. Is
That's
that
hilarious.
funny or what?
Yo,
I
like,
want
you're,
more.
for two things. One, you gotta stop jumping. You gotta stop jumping. You never came out of the game, man. You can't be jumping like this.
Right.
Second of all, your partnership with Fox is amazing because the partnership with WWE, so you get all the superstars, man. Nah,
It's pretty
This is,
good.
why, this is why people love you. This is why every time I'm anywhere, people say, you work with Ryan and Mike. I was like, well, how do you too? You know, but you work with Ryan and Mike. This is the laughter that you provide people at 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning. Like, this is how you get your day going, man. That stuff is gold.
Where's the zip line?
Well,
where's the Belle Isle slide?
I only had so much time.
All right, but you got. I want those.
You
for the
gotta
next.
put a list together.
I need those for the next.
All right, Belle Isle
and you in the middle of in the morning when you took your dog out, and the dog ran away from you.
Please, Lexi, please.
In your suit, crawling in the grass in the dark, in the bushes, looking for this freaking
Lexi,
dog.
please.
Was that last year?
Yeah.
In the pitch black dark in the morning.
It's pitch black. It might have been wet out even.
It was raining.
It was raining.
And the sprinklers were on.
Jesus God.
I remember that. It's like,
Oh my God, that's got to be
I was
part of
slip
it.
sliding through.
That is
this is when you
classic.
got up in the morning?
Yeah,
I
to
remember
take the
that.
dog to my mother-in-law's house.
The dog ran away.
The dog ran away.
I remember that.
Freaking hate
Thanks
that
for not
dog.
taking yourself too serious.
No kidding, man.
Good job, Ricky, for sure.
Jason
fun.
Kenyon, $10 in an email with Maz. A mistake was made on my part. Got my spin win gift and let Maz know I got it. Accidentally called Braylon Anthony. Sorry, B. Had OKC putting BTA to Ant-Man on mind at the time.
Glad Kenyon
That's
got
like
the
3
story.
conversations in one.
I know.
I don't know. I just read it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. OKC, man.
Thanks,
you know what I'm saying?
Kenyon.
Anybody get popped.
Oh,
Thanks,
God.
Glad you received.
Yes.
Took a while, but he
Thanks,
got it.
yeah, thanks everybody in the chat. It's pretty funny stuff. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's raining outside. I said,
good
what
stuff,
the hell
right?
are we
I needed
gonna
that.
do?
That's good,
Hey,
yeah.
you
I
guys,
need more.
You guys following the IndyCar at all? Team Penske fired almost half his operation.
I saw
today.
that. What happened?
Yeah. You know,
They lost. They got whooped.
The Joseph Newgarden car and the Will Power car got sent back to the garage, and they were kind of doing something shady, or against the rules.
Against the rules.
And
He caught wind
Penske
of
got
it?
him out. Well,
Wow.
they got sent to the back row.
Whoa.
They got penalized.
That's
That's what
right.
you said.
They got sent to the back row, and Roger Penske don't play like that.
Can I ask you this question? This is a dumb question, Ryan. Why do people cheat? And this is the only reason I ask. In NASCAR, Indy, they're inspecting your car after
right.
every race, before every race,
I know.
every weekend. Like, you're going to get caught.
It's funny you say that, Braylon, because one of the things that's a great point.
Yeah.
Because being in Indy, it is amazing how much the cars are inspected before you go out, after you go out, when you come out to pit road, when you come in from pit road, because these cars are thousandths of a second difference, hundreds of a second difference, and that's what's separates the greats from not. There was a guy, Jason Abel, I think his name was. There were 34 cars competing for 33 spots in the Indy 500. Jason Abel did not make it. He was too slow. He was going 226 miles an hour.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's slow.
Jeez.
That's slow. That's slow.
And 227 miles an hour made it.
Yep.
And you think about going that fast around the track 4 times, average speed. That's what your speed
And it's
is.
still a game of inches.
Yes.
So you go around the track, your average speed is 226 and not 227, and you don't make the Indy 500. That's how close it is. So you ask, why do they cheat?
That's why.
That's why they cheat.
Yeah.
But how do you do it when you're getting inspected before a race and after a race? I'm so into this IndyCar. I'm going to the Grand Prix in Detroit.
Me too.
I mean, I am going to the
Let me
Detroit
know. I get-
Grand Prix.
I've gone last
should.
2
We're
years
in
in a row.
on
I'm
that.
connected.
It's fun.
Let me
We're
know
in on
for
that.
sure. Yeah. let me
Guys,
know.
I already
Do
reached
you-
out to our friend Merrill Kane. He's
Yeah.
got our backs.
Merrill Kane.
We will be there.
Do you? I brought up yesterday. I trained for this stuff.
Yeah,
the
talk to me
reason
about
why one of the reasons
Pete
why
drive.
one of the reasons why that the mechanics and even the team owners know about this stuff, and especially actually the drivers sometimes don't. It's finding loopholes in the rules. That's all it very, very is. There are certain rules set up for the cars. Formula One has certain rules. Indy cars have certain rules. NASCARs have certain rules as to how high the car is supposed to be off the ground, types of tires, so on and so forth. The reason why Ayrton Senna in 1994 was killed in his Formula One car by Williams. The Williams mechanics and the Williams team put in a brand new hydraulic braking system for the car, which was a loophole in the rule. And this is what team owners and team drivers and the mechanics all try to get away with in any sort of auto racing is those little, because Ryan, you brought it up, you're losing by 1 second. The little adjustment of the front wing, the little adjustment of the back wing, it could be against the rules by this much, by a millimeter, but if they can try to get away with it, they're going to do whatever they can because of the big money involved. But people die, like Ayrton Senna did, because of the experiments that go on in these cars. It is a very, very dangerous sport.
Pete, man, that's great insight, man. We need to change the segment and call Let Pete Drive. I like what Matt said there. That would be kind of cool.
I appreciate it.
You're right. You know, I'm up here acting like Bill Belichick didn't cheat in the NFL, and what did he do? It was rule manipulation. Like
Right.
if you're not
That's what it
cheating,
is.
100%. If you're not cheating, you're trying. I appreciate that.
Thanks,
Respect.
buddy. I appreciate that.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to go so much news and notes in the NFL that we did not get to
Somebody got paid
over the
that I
last
don't agree
24
with.
hours. So I want to get to that. Also, Tigers 5-1 in the top of the ninth. So we'll talk some Tigers as well. But first, the message from Thomas Mazaway.
Yes, sir, guys. Looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Well, check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. Top brands of massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki. They're located on the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road, right up the block from Woodward Sports. Check them out. Luxury Comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the wellness doctor, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit right now at massagechairhouse.com, massagechairhouse.com, or hit that QR code. It'll take you right there to the Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak? Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Baligian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media: X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us Friday, May 23rd from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at McShane's in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Van Johnson.
Oh, yeah, everybody. Time to scan that QR code above my head. Use that code word over there, Woodward 1000. Open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. When you do so and make your first deposit, make your first bet of $20 or more. If that first bet happens to lose, you get your first bet back as a bonus bet up to $1,000, but only if you scan that QR code above my head. Use that code word over there, Woodward 1000, to open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. The NBA playoffs, conference championships are on. Bet them now, baby. Gentlemen.
All right, welcome back. Thomas Mazaway, let's go through and around The end. F. L.
Big trades, big moves. Who is starting? Who's injured? What does it all add up to? It's time for Around the NFL on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz.
All right, fellas, we're going to start with Bill Belichick. Who else you want to start with? Poor Billy.
Oh,
There goes
Billy is ready
There he
to
is.
just mail it in completely.
Hey.
This Jordan Hudson woman that he is dating, 24-year-old Jordan Hudson, has told at least one person that they're engaged and will be married around Christmas time.
Did you see the ex-wife? Bill Belichick's
His
ex-wife
ex
apparently
saw her in Nantucket or something like that.
confronted her
Really?
at one of the socialite parties in Nantucket and was very aggressive, they said. And all of the women in Nantucket,
They hate this girl.
They hate this girl.
Yeah.
Well, obviously,
She's a
right?
witch. Well,
You
I
ever
think
see
she's
the
a
show
witch.
4 Seasons?
She's a witch. I
Yes.
hated
Yes.
myself
Yes.
for watching that show.
Right.
4 seasons.
Why? Why did you hate it?
Watched it. I don't know. I hated it. It just went nowhere.
Yeah, I know.
But it kind of tells you how everyone's marriage kind of is. When you look at it, you're like, oh, wow, they're so happily married. When in reality, they don't give two craps about each other. And it went into this 4 couples thing. And I guess maybe it depressed the hell out of me. Anyway, why is Bill Belichick going to do this? What are you doing, Bill?
Because she put that snapper on him.
So what? There's
Bam.
more.
She put
more.
Man, listen. Bill Belichick has been operating in the space since 1980 or whenever they got married. All he has cared about is football. Oh, and then by the way, I'm married and I got kids. Like legitimately dialed in. They break up or they divorce, goes his own route. Then he realized that you got these 20 at the time. These 20-year-olds out here with that snapper. He hasn't felt anything like that in maybe ever.
Boy.
Like ever.
I get that, right?
No, you don't.
But to marry it?
That's saying he's 71.
What else is he gonna
Like,
do?
it's not like he's 50 and he's
Right.
and he's like, oh, I can make a sport of this. I can have some fun with this. I can go down here. I can go down here. I can go travel here. He's 71. He's like, look, I ain't got that much longer. I like her. I like this. Let me just keep hitting this one. Like this is what it is, though.
What's up with Mac Brown now?
Mac Brown is out on the aggressive right now. The former North Carolina head coach said that North Carolina, the university, is bending over backwards for Bill, lowering their academic standards so he could put any guy he wants on this team and make North Carolina a bigger draw than they are.
I mean, of course they are.
But Mac Brown is talking.
Of course they are, though.
Every
And of
team
course,
does
and look, you know, sometimes both things can be true.
Yeah.
If I'm Mac Brown, I'm pissed. Where was my money?
Right.
Where was my lowering the academic standards? Great. I understand that. You have every right to be pissed. At the same time, if I'm Bill Belichick, I'm not coming to your school if I can't bring these kids here.
Yeah.
This kid's got a D in English. Who cares?
Who cares?
This kid's got an F in math. I don't care.
He knows X and O.
You got a couple of $1 million you're going to pay this quarterback? Yeah. Okay.
Here, take it.
I mean, we are now in an era of college athletics where the student part of the student athlete is a
gone.
sham.
Yeah.
It's a farce.
Yep.
So why even pretend? That's where I'm at.
Why pretend?
Fair. 100% fair.
There's only
I
one
see
school
the other side
really
of-
that doesn't bend, and it's
Notre
Notre Dame.
Dame.
That's it.
It used
Notre
to,
Dame
hey,
does not bend.
Used to be too.
Used to be
Used to be
two,
Michigan.
but that's done.
That we know of. That we think we maybe 1.5.
I'm talking about it used to be our school too.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But
Michigan.
I remember back in the
it's
day,
done.
my guy walking around with wads of hundreds.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, look, man,
Let me ask you guys.
don't further tarnish the legacy.
Do you think Charles Woodson came here because he loved Michigan?
100. This is why Charles Woodson came. I've asked him this a million times. He's told this story, and he's held.
I think so.
He's held true when he turned. He came to Michigan essentially because they were 2. Ohio State was 1. Ohio State was the school he was going to go to. Michigan was a secondary school. Like, it was next, but they weren't number 1. Or it was like this. Let's put it to you like that, man. It's back and forth.
Yeah.
You know what happened. His coaches go down there. They go to his house. They're disrespectful in his eyes to his mom with the conversation of the Reddick. They didn't want to talk to her during the meal. They talked directly to him. They talked directly to the men that represented him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's his mom who's helping make this decision. They didn't give her the time of day. He felt slighted, felt disrespected. Did
he love
So he
Lloyd?
took his talent to Ann Arbor.
I got news for you though. Like back in the day too. I mean,
But
now
that's a part of it, Maz. But that was regardless of where, not to cut you off. Wherever he went, it was gonna be some cash.
But we grew up a different way as well. I mean, the only reason I went to Michigan, I don't want to say only reason, but I worked towards going to Michigan because I love Bo Schembechler and Michigan football. Like, if, I never thought for a second that I was going to go to Michigan State.
I knew you were
but
going to say that.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what I loved because of football. So that's how we grew up. I
He
mean,
grew up in Ohio, Fremont.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
you must have had a hell of a high school career.
Me?
Like your grades.
Yeah,
to get in Michigan.
It was a 4.0.
A lot of 4.0s don't get in anymore.
Back in the day, they
Back
did,
in the
though.
day, they did.
Yeah. Now I wouldn't get into Michigan today if
Right.
I got waitlisted too.
Okay.
I was going to DePaul. I didn't get into
DePaul, really?
Yeah, in Chicago.
Yep.
I was
Joey Meyer, Ray Meyer.
yeah,
To-
Mark Aguirre.
To make Ryan right, my sister, whose last name is Edwards, whose father went there, whose brothers went there, whose uncle went there, she had a 4.1 coming out of Mercy in Northville. She couldn't go to Michigan.
I wouldn't get in.
She didn't get in.
Now a lot of that
4.1 with parents.
a lot of
what a
that
load of
too,
crap.
unfortunately, and this is where Michigan sucks. And I'll tell you. And I'll talk about my school. I got no problem talking about my school.
They want people that don't live here.
Under 1% black. Just throwing that out.
And they don't want people that
I
live
don't know
here.
anything about that.
It's under 0%.
They don't want people in Michigan.
Right. They don't want
They
anyone
want
that lives here.
people out of state,
Yes.
out of the country.
I give you that, but
they-
out of state, they
yeah,
still bringing in the same type of people because the black percentage is under 1%.
That's
And
amazing.
Fair enough. I'm just
100%.
saying. I'm not disputing the number.
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
saying I don't know that number.
I got you.
I'm not disputing
That's
that it's true
horrible.
or not. I'm just saying they don't want us. They don't want Michiganders. They don't want people that live in Michigan. Very finite number of people are going to get in from this state because in-state tuition. They can. That's why college is kind of like a. I mean, look.
So you
I got to think about college, but it is all about the money.
Yeah.
Michigan should be
Scam.
required, in my opinion, the University of Michigan and Michigan State University and every other university in this state that takes taxpayer dollars should have to be 51% of their
I love that.
students.
Yeah, Michigan first.
51% of their students should be eligible residents.
100%.
What do you think the number is?
10.
Wow.
That's crazy.
10%.
Some schools are so dope. Like if you could, like Alabama.
Somewhere I don't have that number, but I guarantee
Wow.
it's about 50%.
I was looking at Alabama. Like if you're from the state of Alabama, you go to college for free or something like that. If you live in that
It's
area,
like
live in that
so
city, you got to
certain
pay taxes on some of that, but like you get to go to
Some
Alabama,
cities
to
have that.
Auburn, things of that nature.
Some cities have that. I don't know, like in Kalamazoo, they had a Kalamazoo Promise where if you go there for a certain amount of time, you can go to like one of the schools, Western or Kalamazoo Community College for free or something like that.
The state of Michigan is giving you like Macomb
Nothing.
Community College, stuff like that for
Yeah.
free, which is the nice thing to do as well.
As
for
of
kids.
fall of 2024, this says, as of fall of 2024, approximately 52% of undergraduate students are Michigan residents.
Really?
Specifically, out of a total enrollment of 34,000 students, 18,000 are classified as in-state, 16,000 out-of-state. So I stand corrected. It doesn't feel like that.
Right.
It does not feel like
No, it does not feel like that.
I will say they're doing a new partnership this
But
season. With
if I get a number wrong, I'm a numbers guy. If I get a number wrong, I'm gonna tell you got it wrong. I just got that wrong, but it doesn't feel like that.
Supposedly.
Evidently.
Hey, the Chicago Bears are still hunting for a stadium.
Who?
They bought out Arlington Park, Arlington Raceway, which was one of the finest racetracks in the country. They bought the property, knocked down a perfectly gorgeous building.
Thank you.
And said to the city, we're moving from Soldier Field. We're going to put our stadium in Arlington. Then Arlington said, well, we're not going to give you this tax break. We're not going to give you this. So they went to a couple of other suburbs. Then they went to Chicago and said, we want to be where Soldier Field is. The parking lot adjacent to Soldier Field. We want a lakefront. We don't want to leave Chicago. We're going to put a $5 billion stadium, indoor stadium, with the roof.
There you go.
With the roof, so we can get the NCAA and all the other things, concerts, etc. Well, Chicago's telling them, okay, that's good, but you got to pay for it. You got to pay for it. Excuse me. Supposedly, they have now abandoned that idea and now are concentrating on going back to Arlington, where they own the stadium, where they own the grounds. I've talked to my cousins that live in Chicago, and they think it's just posturing on the Bears' part. And you know who's there? The former Big Ten commissioner, the former Michigan man, Kevin Warren. His sole job with the Bears as president is to get that stadium where Soldier Field is. And I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's what's going on right now with the Bears.
City's not interested. City's not interested in spending tax dollars. The residents aren't interested in a franchise that has been subpar. Even when they're good, they're subpar. Just let that sink in. Even when the Chicago Bears are winning 12, 13 games, still subpar. You didn't believe in them, so they don't believe in them that way. Hey, not all this extra money.
Hockey minute?
I do. I got a hockey minute. Last night, the world champion, Stanley Cup champion Panthers, well, they showed the Canes what it's like to be a champion. They whipped them 5-2 last night to take a 1-0 lead in the Eastern Finals. Tonight, the Western Finals start in Dallas. Big D. It's the Oilers, the runners-up last year, against the Dallas Stars.
Look at the Whales. Is that the Whales?
The former Whales.
The Whales trophy. Look at that.
Oh, the Prince of Wales goes to the east. The Campbell Bowl.
Oh, that's right. The Campbell Bowl
goes to the west.
Tigers 5-1 right now, bottom 9, so I'm not even going to say the words, but looking good.
That'll be another series win if they hang on.
Come on,
and
baby.
Javi Baez had a slump buster today. Had an RBI.
Good.
Was one for his last 19. Maybe one for his last 20. I didn't see what he did.
And
was batting
by
ninth
the way,
today.
Another bullpen game, 6 pitchers
Isn't that
combined,
something?
for 1 run so far through 8 2/3.
Right.
Cole Brisky trying to nail it
Trade
down.
for middle relief.
All right, gang. Bray, get us out of here, my friend.
Yeah, look, hell of a show by you guys, man. Excited to be here with you. The energy.
Oh, we were pumped up coming in.
There's a lot of energy, right?
Yeah.
We'll be pumped up tomorrow as well, man. Tune in, stick in tomorrow. The show will be back. Anson Wells will be in here, and you know he's going to be excited to talk about
Let Anson cook.
his OKC Thunder. Watch the game tonight, see what you think. Go Tigers, and
Go
I'm going to go ahead
Knicks.
and break the spirit.
Go Knicks.
They're going to win. We'll see you guys tomorrow.